Hi, this is Clint. And it is 4:07 p.m. And if you enjoy this video, if you gain anything from this, please drop a like. It really helps the video. The videos go along. If you find anything interesting about the video, or if you have any points you'd like to make, please make a comment. I would love to hear that. But the verses I would like to set up or read about have to kind of be set up. As a Christian, we find there are some things difficult, and there's a lot of things that we can focus on, and a lot of them aren't always good. Like, I go on social media and then I'll see someone get ran over by a car, or I'll go to social media and I'll see someone kill their cat on accident. I'll go on social media and I'll find a corpse, and it's like, I'm literally just trying to find some funny things. I'm just trying to chill for a little bit. I work a 9-to-5 job doing construction for my dad. It's not easy work, but it is a calling in and of its own. But I also feel as though it brings up the next option. In the Bible, it says in Colossians 3:2, chapter 3, verse 2, set your minds on things that are above, not on things that are on the earth, not on the earth. Here is how you set your minds above. Okay, this is the New Testament Bible. I like a Bible that has the Old Testament as well, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, I need to read the first couple chapters of the creation. It's easy to set your mind on other things when you're not listening to the world, watching the world. And I've done tests. Be scientific about it. I've done tests. I did 1 week where I didn't do any social media, any music, any nothing. And truthfully, I felt like I was actually able to feel comfortable. After work, I went to bed at a lot more reasonable time. I didn't have as much problems with protecting my eyes, if you know what I mean. These things are pretty important as a Christian, because we have to be ready and willing to work. But if we're not willing to work and not ready, how could we be put to use? And another verse that actually complements what I'm talking about is Proverbs 4:23. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flows the spring of life. I'll say that again because I fudged it up. Keep your heart with all vigilance, for from it flow the spring of life. And that's accurate on a doctoral level, but what's true about it is, have you ever felt like you just have a really good day, and then you just notice, like, oh yeah, I wasn't on my phone all day, I wasn't listening to music all day, I was just kind of existing and enjoying my life, did my work, hung out with some friends. It was great, right? It's a lot greater when we don't try to substitute life for quick satisfaction. And I think our minds weren't wired for that. I don't think our minds were wired for these things that you and I know as social media, as memes, as quick form content. Now, that's why I'm trying to make more steady pace content, not doing cuts, not throwing verses on the screen, just more of a dialogue video. And if this is of use, please like. It does help the channel. There we go. Therefore, preparing your minds for action and being sober-minded, set your hope fully on the grace that will be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. That is 1 Peter 1:13. Now, that actually has very little to do with what I was saying, but what it's saying is, preparing your minds for action and being sober-minded. It says, set your hope fully on the grace that will be brought to you at the revelation of Jesus Christ. Now, the cool thing about that is therefore doubling back and going back and saying, set your mind on Christ again. And this actually helps with a lot of people like me have addictions to social media. For God gave us not a spirit of fear. For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and of love and self-control. Self-control it always seems to be the last, but I think. Sorry, 1 second. I think self-control, last but not least, with self-control, it's very important. And I think maybe it was written in self-control at the end so that we remember it the most. Because can you remember what I said first? Not of fear, but of power and love and self-control. Self-control is last. Last but not least. There we go. Anyway, this is a 7-minute video, but I thought that was fine. I thought that was really interesting findings, and I did want to say something. I'm not worried about this getting out because I believe that God's blessing this, but I feel like with social medias, it does the opposite of these. 1 second. Discharge your obligations to all men. Pay tax and toll, reverence and respect to those whom they are due. Leave no claim outstanding against you, except that of mutual love. He who loves his neighbor has satisfied every claim of the law. For the commandments, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not covet, and every other commandment there may be are all summed up in this one rule: love your neighbor as yourself. Love cannot wrong a neighbor, therefore the whole law is summed up in love. Now, social media, I don't believe, ever promotes that. I think social media promotes, look at this cool thing for you to covet. Look at this cool thing for, wow, did you see that guy? He threw that crazy punch. Like, that guy figured out a way not to pay taxes. Wow, look how much money this guy has. It's all about selfishness. I don't think that's something God wants from us. It's a big no-no, actually, I think. But yeah, I hope you have a good day. I'm gonna be putting an email in the description, so if you have questions, you can email me, and thank you guys. Be well.